Hello, thank you for participating in the 10-day book reading challenge, which I coordinated. My name is Dr. Jerry the First Oguzie JP, and this month we read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and I want to draw out the 15 core lessons from that book which we read, and which I know you also must have been able to write down on your own. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book written by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter in 1997. In its pages, Kiyosaki and Lechter describe the mentalities between two paths to wealth accumulation and why you should strive to become more like the rich dad instead of the poor dad. The 15 core lessons from this book. 1. The rich dad and poor dad mentalities. The book's primary ideas explore the contrasting mentalities of the two titular fathers. In the allegorical story, the rich dad is Kiyosaki's biological father, who was a college professor, and the poor dad was the father of his best friend, who owned dozens of his own businesses. Both dads had contrasting advice for those looking to earn and save money. 2. The poor dad mindset. The poor dad in this story believes that the key to accumulating wealth lies in finding a stable job, and also largely depends on your family and their financial background. Reading about and learning from other successful people are critical to accumulating wealth from this perspective. However, the major pitfall is that people following this mindset work a job they do not love, thus lessening their quality of life. 3. The rich dad mindset. On the flip side, the rich dad mindset advises any to listen to get a job that teaches valuable skills. Being an entrepreneur and accumulating experience and learning which you can then transition to a new job is much more available. Multiple income streams are key. In addition, this mindset emphasizes owning your own business for financial security. 4. Assets are better than liabilities. Kiyosaki points out that the rich typically buys assets once they've accumulated enough wealth. These are things like homes or bonds, both of which can potentially earn you money if you resell or rent them. Liabilities are distinguished as things that lose their value over time, like most products and anything that is trendy. Rich people largely stay rich because they avoid unnecessary liabilities. 5. Experience teaches financial literacy. In keeping with the rich dad mindset, Kiyosaki advises that gathering experience from a multitude of fields and skills is necessary to become financially literate and successful. Thus, a course in accounting, in law, in investing, and sales and marketing are all valuable spheres that anyone looking to secure their financial future should become well versed in. Having jobs that teach those skills are even more valuable. 6. Learn to sell. In a capitalist economy, being able to sell your product or a service, no matter what, is very critical to success. Even if you're an artist, Kiyosaki stresses that you must be able to sell your products or your services or you'll not be successful. So, taking sales courses or otherwise training, these skills are both valid avenues to becoming a better salesperson. 7. Focus on opportunities. Rather than spending time ruminating on the walls or barriers in your way, you should instead look at anything you want or any obstacle you want to overcome and figure out how to achieve those goals. Searching for answers to solve your problems or turning those problems into opportunities is a much better mindset for any entrepreneur and for general day-to-day issues as well. 8. Fear and self-doubt should not be heeded. While overconfidence can be detrimental to your overall progress, there's a difference between a healthy respect for risk and an outright fear. The poor dad, writes Kiyosaki, will be paralyzed from self-doubt and terror and never take a successful risk in his life. Being bold creates opportunities that will either lead to future success or valuable experience you can bring to bear on new ventures. 9. Fear is what stops you. Most people are already trapped in the mindset of poor dad. That's because the fear of the consequence of failure stops most people from living the rat race and working hard at a job they despise just for monetary gain. This fear can then become a cycle, especially as you get older and start to feel more trapped in terms of your personal opportunities or familial obligations. 10. Greed is terrible. Next to fear, greed is just as bad. Greed is what causes people to make short-term investments or purchases, buying up liabilities instead of assets. You must learn to calm your greed and control it so that you don't waste money and spend it on things that won't eventually return wealth to your pocket. The key to overcoming your greed is largely through financial knowledge and literacy. 11. Persist in the face of adversity. No matter how fortunate you are and how skilled you might be, you will eventually find setbacks in your way to success. You must persist through these adversities and keep your eye on the ultimate goals. And don't let fear arrest your momentum and bring you back to where you were before. 12. Education is more valuable than money. Kiyosaki himself states that gathering experience and education are vastly more important than cash. That's because these mental assets can help you earn more money in the long run and will lead to self-fulfillment. Always invest in opportunities for self-improvement when you can. 13. Beware of arrogance. As you find success and accumulate wealth, you might be tempted to become arrogant and stop learning or paying attention to the signs of poor risks. You must always be vigilant and prevent yourself from becoming arrogant or ignorant. Arrogant business people can easily find their wealth sapped away and themselves return to a state they had tried to run away from in the first instance. The poor dad mindset says buy luxuries last, not first. That's the rich dad's mindset. You should also save off rewards or losses that you have practiced and you have purchased any assets that can be used to boost your business or generate more wealth for your pocket. This not only circumvents greed, but it also helps you compound your successes into easier future wealth accumulation. 15. You will lose money if you are investing properly and taking the right risk. You will eventually lose some money. But the key is not to be afraid of this eventuality, but to take the experience you receive as a result and use it to lose less and no money next time. So turn all negative experiences into a learning opportunity and you will go far. I've also included here 10 quotes from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Quote number 1. I would rather welcome change than cling to the past that has not served me any useful purpose. Quote number 2. The love of money is not the root of all evil. It is the lack of money that is the root of all evil. Quote number 3. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth in what seems like an instant. Quote number 4. If you realize that you are the problem, then you can change yourself. Learn something and grow wiser. Don't blame other people for your problems. 5. Workers work hard enough not to be fired, and employers pay just enough so that workers won't quit. 6. To know a little about a lot makes a better sense. 7. Excessive fear and self-doubt, those are the greatest detractors of personal genius. 8. Learn to use your emotions to think, not to think with your emotions. 9. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make that matters. It's how much money you keep that makes the difference. 10. If fear is too strong, the genius is suppressed. Now, those are the quotes and the summary from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, as given by me, Dr. Jerry the First Oguzi. Thank you once again for your time.